CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's To Go and by Carroll Links.
Hi there, I'm Pat Stetzer, and welcome to episode 9 of Game On, where we've got you covered on all things Carroll County High School sports. The biggest Carroll County football game of the regular season takes place this Friday, and CMSportsNet will be there to bring you all the action. We're looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So let's get started. It's Game On. We're going to get you set for Week 9 in Carroll County Athletic League football and the final week before the postseason begins. And we'll take a look at some of the final regular season results from boys and girls soccer, as well as first-round playoff matchups. Plus, you'll see who we tabbed as the latest CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week. We're going to take a look at a lot of football results from Week 8, and let's start with the CMSportsNet Game of the Week from last Friday. In fact, it was 3 games in 1, as we put together multi-game coverage on October 20th. And all 3 games were filled with excitement, so let's take a look. 3 big matchups highlighted the Week 8 football slate in the Carroll County Athletic League, and CMSportsNet was there to capture all of the action and big moments. We had Liberty hosting Westminster, Manchester Valley hosting Winters Mill, and Century hosting South Carroll, all on Friday, October 20th. Let's start in Eldersburg, and the Cavaliers get on the board first, thanks to this 11-yard touchdown run by Anthony Rodriguez, who bowls his way into the end zone. The PAT is no good, but South Carroll leads 6-0. Westminster takes the lead on this 29-yard scoring scamper when Kyrese Walker keeps it and finds some room to roam down the near sideline. Owls 7, Lions nothing early on. Winters Mill leads 3-0 in the second quarter after a Camden Cook field goal. And then it's Paris Lee breaking free for a 25-yard TD. Cook's point after gives the Falcons a 10-0 lead. Man Valley responds. Quarterback Gene Magan finds his top receiver, James Herndon, who breaks free and races in for a 53-yard touchdown. Mavericks trail 10-7, and that's the score at halftime in Manchester. South Carroll leads 15-0 after another TD run by Rodriguez, and the Cavaliers look for more, but Chris Gordon snags an interception in the end zone and returns it all the way out to the 30-yard line. And the Knights get on the board with a big play. JT Ferguson to Trey Helmick that goes for a 70-yard screen pass and a score. Knights fail on the 2-point play and trail 15-6. Liberty ends its scoring drought thanks to this short TD pass from Chase Miller to David Akinboye. Owls 7, Lions 7 at halftime. Century gets closer just before the break. Ferguson up top to Jake Kuntz for a 26-yard TD. And the Knights trail 15-14 to intermission after Ferguson runs it in for 2 points. Century is hanging in. Dylan Metz picks off Caleb Evans to keep the Cavaliers out of the end zone, still a 1-point game down at the Castle. Braden Fritz attempts a 40-yard field goal to tie the score in the fourth quarter for Man Valley, but the ball sails off to the left and it's still 10-7 for Winters Mill. Westminster is backed up inside its 10-yard line when Walker keeps it and finds room around the right end, and he's gone for a long touchdown run. Owls take a 14-9 lead into the fourth quarter. South Carroll extends its lead thanks to this 51-yard strike from Evans to Braden Yeager. Cavaliers go ahead 22-14. Liberty regains the lead after this 2-yard touchdown run by Miller and a 2-point pass play as well. Lions 17, Owls 14 early in the fourth. Winters Mill holds off Man Valley. Final score is Falcons 10, Mavs 7. Big Mill improves to 8-0, 5-0 in Carroll, but loses quarterback Caleb Crouch to an injury in the process. South Carroll outlasts Century for a 22-14 final score. The Cavaliers are 2-6 with their second win in as many weeks. Still some drama at the Lions Den, and when Raekwon Warfield scores from close range. Westminster retakes the lead at 21-17. Liberty drives deep into Westminster territory after that, but on fourth down, Miller's pass to Michael Martin is incomplete, and the Owls take over on downs. Final score is Westminster 21, Liberty 17. The Owls are 7-1 and 5-0 in the county, and they'll host Winners Mill in Week 9 to decide the Carroll County Championship. Francis Scott Key was the lone county team playing a non-Carroll opponent, and the Eagles tried to put together a comeback against South Hagerstown after trailing by as many as 19 points. Jermaine Dawson ran for 100 yards and a touchdown, and Keandre Grooms added a rushing score. Ben Stevens threw a passing touchdown, but the Eagles came up short against the Rebels. Two teams are unbeaten in county play with 1 week to go in the regular season. Westminster and Winners Mill are getting ready for their annual city rivalry showdown. Liberty and South Carroll are each trying to get to 500 in county play, and the Mavericks are going after a winning regular season. Now, we mentioned Winners Mill and Westminster gearing up for their Week 9 showdown. The Falcons and the Owls are also playing for the Carroll County Championship. It'll be a first for Big Mill and a fourth in 5 seasons for Westminster. We'll have it for you as the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Join me and Mike Krauth with our pregame show that starts at 6:45, followed by kickoff at 7. Let's talk about the Falcons now for a second. Winners Mill has rushed for more than 1,600 yards so far this season, but the Falcons will have to continue on without their leading ball carrier. Senior Caleb Crouch left last week's game with an injury and won't be back this season, a big blow to the Falcons. Crouch had 556 rushing yards to go with 469 passing yards from his quarterback spot. Plus, he's third on the team in tackles from his linebacker position. Westminster got a 95-yard touchdown run from senior quarterback Kyrese Walker that went a long way in helping the Owls beat Liberty last week. Senior linebacker Casey Heisig added 9 tackles and a sack to his season resume. Heisig leads the county now in tackles. Josser Donald has 9 sacks on the year. That's the most in all of the Carroll County Athletic League. Winners Mill's defense is still shining, and the Falcons are allowing less than 9 points per game. They look to slow down an Owls offense that has scored less than 20 points only 1 time through 8 games. The all-time series is one-sided, to say the least. In fact, Winners Mill has just 1 win over Westminster in its history, which started in 2003, and that was all the way back in 2007, that victory. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks ahead of Friday's matchup. Kyrese Walker has scored the most points in the county this season with 14 rushing touchdowns, and he eclipsed 1,000 rushing yards with his big game in Week 8. Austin Nutt's already has a TD pass in limited minutes, but he'll be the Falcon starter going forward with Caleb Crouch being out due to that injury. Now it's time for the Coach's Corner, and let's hear from both coaches ahead of their big county championship matchup. First up is Winners Mill's Matt Miller, who likes the way his Falcons have handled their adversity in 2023. Let's take a listen. Coach, you guys have handled your share of adversity through the year. A little bit more to handle this week going up against Westminster this Friday. How have the kids absorbed the loss of Caleb Crouch this week going into, last week I say, going into this week in the regular season finale?
Me personally, I'm sick in my stomach because it happened. It's unfortunate. I get to come back and coach more football games. But these kids have a finite amount to play, and it sucks. I don't know how else to quantify it. I think his buddies and his friends, they're upset by it. But our reality is we got to move on and prepare for a really good football team. So Westminster's not going to stop the care. So we gotta press on, and the good thing is we've had kids all year. When someone goes out, someone else steps up, and I don't expect anything less.
What does have to go your way? What are the keys to winning this game Friday against Westminster in the city rivalry?
We're going to do what we're going to do. With Austin in quarterback, he has a little bit more ability to throw, a little different ability to throw the ball. But we still got guys that can run the ball. We got guys that block, and we play decent enough defense. It's going to give us a chance. You don't have to tell these kids what's at stake Friday. You talked earlier in the year about, you only have a certain amount of games to play. You just mentioned it right now. Is that all the motivation that you hope they need to understand what lies ahead Friday? Yeah, you talk to people around. I don't think there's anyone outside of our group that really honestly in their hearts believes that we have a chance. And I think that motivates our kids. And I know other coaches will say the right things, and you guys will say the right things. But, I mean, when it comes down to it, I don't think there's anyone outside of our little circle that believes that we can do it. And I think that's motivation enough, and it's just that much sweeter that it's Westminster.
Thanks to Coach Miller for his time. Now let's move over to Westminster now and Coach Chris Bassler, whose Owls are well aware of their familiar opponent this week. Coach, it's you don't need me to tell you how big this game is on Friday. A, it's for the county title, and B, it's for playoff positioning. How much have you spoken to that to your guys, or is it just a matter of, hey, let's go out there and take care of our business and we'll see where the chips fall?
You know, I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago about how we needed to be in playoff mode now, you know, and I think this is just a continuation of that, and the fact that, you know, it is Winters Mill, and, you know, these kids all grew up together, and you know, all that on top of it, I think just helps aid to just being a big game. And, you know, we've been in a lot of big games, and, you know, hopefully that'll help us. You've told me year in, year out, and a lot of times this year, how much this rivalry, the kids know each other, and how even despite some of their down years and bad records, it's always a competitive game in the end, even though it's been one-sided. Again, you don't need to tell these guys the significance of that and how much they want to get a win just as much as you guys do. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Coach Miller and his kids, and I mean, they always play us tough. And you know, this year you look at what they're playing. I mean, and they're just a good football team, and they do a lot of things that are going to challenge us. And you know, we're going to have to play our best football to beat them. What are some of the keys to the game early in the week? A lot of days ago before the game, what do you guys have to do well to get a win and move on? I mean, I think first and foremost with them, it's stopping the run. You know, they're a good running team. They got a lot of good backs. They've got an aggressive offensive line. You know, try to keep their run contained, and for us to just to play consistently on offense. Can you sense in the guys that it's, you know, we're nearing the playoffs now, and everyone wants to be playing their best ball right now going into the next month? Is it a flip of a switch, or do you know that these guys realize it's playoff time? I mean, I hope it's just a continuation of what we've done all year. You know, and you know, every week you're trying to get better and trying to build, and you know, I think we see that, you know, week in and week out, that, you know, we are making improvements and getting better and making some strides, but there's still things we need to get much better at. Thanks, Coach. Don't forget, we'll have all the action from Ruby Field on October 27th when Winters Mill takes on Westminster in the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Mike Krause joins me for pregame coverage at 6:45, followed by kickoff at 7. Manchester Valley has the non-county game this week when the Mavericks host Williamsport. Liberty welcomes Century from just down the road in Eldersburg, and Francis Scott Key makes a trip to Parker Field to take on the Cavaliers. This is all in Week 9. South Carroll is going for a third straight win after an 0-6 start, while the Knights try to beat the Lions for the first time since 2015. The regional playoffs are set to begin next weekend, so stay tuned for more details and coverage along the way. Speaking of playoffs, we'll see what's in store for the county's boys and girls soccer teams as they get set for the postseason. We'll also find out how the Carroll Lynx fall sports teams are doing, and we'll recognize another CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week. So don't go away. Game On will be right back.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
Catch all the high school football action with CMSportsNet's Game of the Week. From kickoff to the final score and all the plays in between, we've got you covered. Check out this week's matchup. Hi, I'm Pat Stetzer. Join me for pregame reports, play-by-play commentary, and analysis. Plus, CMSportsNet's halftime report and exclusive postgame interviews. Don't miss CMSportsNet's Game of the Week.
It's time for another exciting season of CMSportsNet's award-winning coverage, and you can be part of it. Few things bring a community together like local sports. And when you become a sponsor of CMSportsNet, you can get your business in front of thousands of viewers each week. These are loyal fans with a passion for the sport and their school, and you can be the community leader that helps celebrate our hometown heroes. Best of all, CMSportsNet's extensive coverage means there's a host of ways you can get involved. From live Game of the Week coverage,
It was easy sailing once he saw middle of the field like that, yeah?
to highlights,
DeAndre Grooms comes up with the scoop and score.
exclusive interviews,
Everybody was talking like, it's not over yet, it's not over yet.
CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week,
There must have been big expectations you guys put on yourselves just because of talent.
blogs, podcasts, and more. There's an opportunity for every budget, and we can customize your package. So what are you waiting for? Get in the game. Call us today and put CMSportsNet to work for you.
Welcome back to Game On. Time to shift over to soccer, where it's time for Carroll's teams to play postseason matches. Before we get to those playoff matchups, let's see how some of the county teams ended their regular seasons. We'll start with the boys. Liberty got past rival South Carroll, and Winters Mill edged Thomas Johnson in overtime. The Falcons are actually 3-1 in overtime games this fall. And you see the Owls and Gators played to a draw as well. Okay, time to look at the boys soccer playoff picture. Class 1A West Region 1 has 3 county teams in the bracket, and games get underway today. Liberty is home taking on Loch Raven, while FSK and South Carroll have road matchups in their openers. In 2A West Region 1, Century gets a home game against Walkersville, and Winters Mill drew a first-round bye. The Falcons get Middletown in the next round. 3A West, Man Valley and county champ Westminster are in 3A West Region 1. The Mavericks host South Hagerstown, and the Owls get Oakdale Ruby Field with a win sending them to top-seeded North Hagerstown in the second round. Time to take a look at the boys soccer standings. The Owls are your county champs, as we mentioned before, based on their head-to-head win over Man Valley. Liberty gets the tiebreaker over Century, thanks to a 2-1 win back on October 12th. Over to girls soccer now to see some recent results. South Carroll shut out Liberty and finished in second place in the CCAL thanks to that win. Francis Scott Key closed its regular season on a high note, and the Falcons edged Poly for a non-county win. Now for a look at the playoff picture for girls soccer in Carroll County. South Carroll has a bye in 1A West Region 1, and the Cavs await the winner of Pikesville Liberty in the second round. The Lions blanked the Panthers 7-0 during the regular season. In 2A West Region 1, county champ Century and Winters Mill both have byes. The Knights host the Falcons in the next round. Century won the regular season match 3-0. In the 3A West Region 1 bracket, it's the one intra-county matchup in the opening round of the playoffs when Westminster hosts Manchester Valley tonight at Ruby Field. The Owls beat the Mavericks 3-1 in Manchester late last month. All right, time to see the CCAL standings for girls soccer. The Cavaliers had won 4 in a row before dropping a pair, but ended that skid with the win over the Lions last week. On to some college sports now. Carroll Community College men's soccer had a Region 20 Division II playoff match against Frederick Community College on October 21st, and the Lynx fell 5-1. Westminster grad Dan Wachkowiak netted the lone goal for the Lynx. Carroll's volleyball season came to an end October 19th when the Lynx got swept at home against Hagerstown. Carly Badorf led the squad with 16 kills, and Gerstel Academy alum Sophia DiMaggio had 13 digs on defense. The volleyball team saw its share of success in its inaugural season. Carroll went 7-9 overall, but posted a winning conference record at 5-4. Badorf tallied 3.44 kills per set, that was tops on the team, and Century alum Maria Akaran added 2.04 kills per set. Wintersville grad Abigail Morley handed out more than 5 assists per set under Coach Terry Leatherwood, as Carroll added a new sport to its athletics program this fall. Men's soccer surpassed last year's win total and finished 5-11-1 under first-year coach Joe Pratt. The Lynx were 4-8 in conference play, led by Dan Wachkowiak's 15 points. Emeris Acevedo compiled a 70.7 save percentage in goal and made 47 stops this season. All right, time for another CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week. And this one comes from a player who put together an all-around strong effort in Week 8 of the football season. Senior led his team in rushing and added a stellar game on defense to help his team stay undefeated on the season. Let's find out who earned the honors this week. This week's CM Sportsnet Athlete of the Week, Paris Lee, Winners Mill football. Paris helped the Falcons win by going for 150 yards rushing, scored a touchdown, also had a sack on defense. Paris, it was a low-scoring game, a gritty game, and you guys got the win. How pumped were you guys to sort of play in a game like that, handle some adversity? I know you lost Caleb Crouch and also got away with the victory. How pleased were you with your guys' effort on Friday and your effort personally?
I was excited. We had to step up because we lost Caleb. That was kind of terrible, but we stepped up. We had good looks from Tyshawn. He's starting now, so we have people stepping up now that we lost our star athlete on our offense. So, yeah, things are going to be different now.
But when something like that happens, it's up to the leaders on the team, guys like yourself, to sort of make sure everybody's on the same mindset. Did you guys talk about that at all after the game and yesterday and today during practice to realize that, hey, okay, we lost a guy. The season's not over. We still want to go out and get things done this week and in the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that talk like? What did you guys try to talk about in terms of keeping everybody's mind in the right spot and realizing that you have a big game on Friday?
We told each other we have to lock in now that we don't have our quarterback. We're putting in new plays since we are rushing now because we don't have a quarterback. So we have to pull stuff out of our pocket now.
That being said, huge game coming up this week against Westminster. You know all those guys over there. They know you. It's been a while since you've only beaten them once, I believe, Coach Miller told me, but there's a chance here that you can finish with a win and be 9-0. That would be something that has never happened, obviously, in Winners Mill. How motivated and excited are you guys to go to their place on Friday and play a good game?
I'm excited to beat them. I'm excited. Yeah.
That's all that matters, right? And one last question. You had a sack on defense, 5 tackles. I know you're doing well on both sides of the ball. How much do you work on both of them, running the ball for Winners Mill and being one of the runners and also being one of the top guys on defense? Do you try to put in more work one or the other?
I just balance it, work hard on both sides every day, never give up, never take plays off and just practice at what I do best.
Well, it's paying off. Paris Lee, congrats on a great week last week. Paris Lee, the latest CM Sportsnet Athlete of the Week.
CM Sportsnet's Athlete of the Week is brought to you in part by Barnes Bollinger Insurance Services and by Genova's To Go.
Congrats to Paris Lee, the latest CM Sportsnet Athlete of the Week. And we're set to see him on the field again this Friday in a huge football game with county championship stakes and regional playoff implications. We'll turn on the CM Sportsnet spotlight again next week when we highlight a pair of fall championship events that are coming right up. The annual cross-country county meet is October 26th at Carroll Community College. Westminster's girls and Century's boys are the reigning team champions. Then it's the fall cheerleading county competition on October 28th at Westminster High School, where Manchester Valley took the crown last year. That's going to do it for another episode of Game On. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget, we've got the football game of the week for you on a Friday, October 27th, as Westminster welcomes Winners Mill to Ruby Field in Week 9 for the Carroll County Championship. Mike Kraus joins me for pregame coverage at 6:45, and kickoff is set for 7. Be sure to catch all of our high school sports content online on Facebook and YouTube, as well as our website at carrollmediacenter.org. And you can watch us on cable channel HD 1086. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time.